So for this problem, we are supposed to be like a manufacturing engineering team, and we were asked to design the bracket that you see here. And how we've decided to design the bracket is it's going to be made out of sheet metal, obviously, so we're going to have a square that's going to be sectioned off into two triangles. And for the first step, we're going to punch holes down each side. As you see here, to determine the holes, we'll have the diameters determined, has to be greater than 1.2 times the thickness, and the length away from the edge has to be greater than 1.71 plus 2.5 times the thickness plus the bend radius. And to make these holes, as you see here, we have what's going to be called the punch machine, and we're going to be doing that with each and every hole. And as you can see, we have a type of punch that's going to punch out 9 holes on one side and 1 hole on the other. So then whenever it's rotated, we can flip over and get the 10th hole on each side. So that way the holes aren't being punched too close together. So that way we're not having any cracking or breaking. And then for the next step, we're going to punch out the large slot in the bracket, and for these large slots, the length has to be greater than 4 times the thickness, and then it has to be at least 2 times the thickness away from the different holes. Actually, that's and so to get this large punch out, what we're going to use is we're going to use a shallow draw here to punch out the large slotted section, and after the slotted section is punched out, then we're going to use basically the same type of system with the shallow draw to punch out the raised or the indented circle that's going to go around, as you can see here in this bottom picture, that's going to go around that third or that 4th hole there. And after that is done, what we're going to do is we're going to cut off the triangles, which will that'll cut off the triangles and then cut out corners on the edges, so that way we can bend the edges. So we'll cut off the corners and then fold up the edges, bend up the edges, and once the edges are bent, we'll come through and cut the smaller slots in the sides of each of the brackets with some sort of drill or machine that will just cut through instead of having to punch it out after it's been bent. And then once that's done, we'll have a completed bracket, and it will work incredibly.